Great. So now, over to you, patient stories. Heidi.
So I'm very excited about our next panel, which is going to be on patient perspectives. If we can just get the slides up. You know, I think everyone in this room recognizes the importance of patients, or really participants, both as the ultimate recipients of a lot of our work as we translate it into clinical care. They're also the source of samples and data that go into much of our work. But I think it's important to also recognize that engaging participants in very active ways can often be incredibly beneficial to the work we do, both from the very beginning as we're working to develop standards as we are in the Global Alliance, on up to clinical trials and everything else that we work on. So I'm very excited to have three terrific panelists for our session today. Peter Capitaine from Inspire to Live, Oliver Menzel from the Black Swan Foundation, and Corey Painter from the Broad Institute are all going to each give talks. And then hopefully we'll have a little bit of time at the end for some questions. I did want to just lead with a couple of slides, which I think are great examples of just how active our participant population can be. Let's see. So I don't know how many of you heard this story about Sonia and Eric from the Broad Institute. Sonia's mother died at age 51 after rapid onset of a prion disease called fatal familial insomnia. As soon as her mother died, she was tested and found to be positive. At that moment, she and her husband quit their jobs, entered PhD programs. Sonia was a lawyer, and I think Eric was had an IT background. So they quit their jobs, entered PhD programs, and 7 years later, they now have a drug candidate working with Ionis Pharmaceuticals. So we really shouldn't underestimate what patients can do when motivated, and they are, of course, highly motivated, like in this example. And some of you also may have heard of Matt Might, whose son was born with a neurodevelopmental disorder, and he launched a media campaign to discover a novel genetic cause of his son's disease, and this has been written up. You can see the webpage he launched to try to incite this discovery effort, and in doing so found 5 other families around the world that had similar features to his son, ultimately brought those families together, and that is how his son's disease gene was discovered, a novel discovery. We now have platforms that are enabling patients to actually post their data in the public domain to bring these families together and allow anyone to make use of that data to facilitate research. And this is the MyGene2 platform that the UW group has launched to allow patients to do this. We've also in ClinGen launched Genome Connect, which allows patients to directly upload their genetic test results, which we then help them post onto ClinVar so that other laboratories and families can have access to the data that they are wanting to share with the community. So these are just, a few examples of the very active ways that patients can participate in research and clinical endeavors. So with that,